families! I just wanted to hop on and kind of try to make some sort of resource that might be helpful now that you all hopefully have a copy of your home learning packet that will take us from now to the end of the year. This is the district created learning packet, so it looks a lot different than what you've been receiving from the school and then from me before that. But in an attempt to make sure that everything is fair and equitable for all students in our district, the district has decided to create a packet that is common between schools and for each grade level. So this is the same packet that a second or third grader at any other school in our district would be receiving to make sure that everybody is having, no school is requiring more than another school, those sorts of concerns that came up with in our first 3 weeks of distance learning. So the decision that was made was that there would be just a common packet that would go out to all students of a certain grade level in Carson City. So this is it. I have the third grade packet in front of me. I have the second grade packet as well as reference, but I'm going to use this one as an example just to show you how I kind of managed it to kind of figure out what I was doing. So the first thing I did was flipped through it, and I saw that there are several different sections. So the first thing that I did when I got the packet was I started tearing it apart. And your kids will tell you that I am always ripping things up to get them to make more sense to me and put them in piles that make sense. So that is what I did. I took this and I ripped it. So here's the math section. You'll find this checklist right here. That is going to be your cover page for the math section. So the first thing that I did was take the math section and separate it out from the rest of it. So this is its own section. This would essentially be its own packet if it was given in that way. At the back of the math section, you'll find computer menu, a PE menu, and a music menu. So these are the specialist menus, and then the third grade packet also has some gate book recommendations. Those are just books that if your kids are looking for something to read, those are some book lists that were put together that would be a good place to start. So there's specialists packet. I took that off the back and I made that its own packet. That was its own section. I kept that separate, put that in one pile. Then I took the math section. I made this the cover page, and really most of this math section, feels a lot bigger than it actually is. Most of the days for the math are requiring your child to do only 1 or 2 problems per day. So it feels like a lot, but a lot of these pages are parent resource pages of games, activities, conversation starters that you could be having at home that go with the concepts that we learned in class this year. So the actual math page numbers down at the bottom, I'll show you. These are the actual math sheets. They're going to say Pearson Education down at the bottom. Let me see. I'm sure it's backwards. And then it'll have a page number. And this page number here in the middle is going to be the page number that relates to this cover page right here. So you will have the sheet that needs to get done for each day. You'll get that out of this packet, give that to your child, and then they will be able to check that off. So the math is very simple. Pretty quick, pretty easy, does not take long to complete at all. I think my son got 2 weeks worth of math done today. It's not going to take very long. So that's where Khan Academy and ST Math will come in to kind of supplement. If you have access to the internet, that is a really good place for your children to continue learning things that are needed and really catered to them and their own needs. Okay, so that's the math. So I have my math packet. I'm going to put that over here with my specialist packet. And then here's my packet, the pages that haven't been organized yet. So the next section that I see from the back, these are the photocopied stories from our reading book. So those will come next. These are going to be your reading resource pages. and I just flipped till I see the beginning of that one. This is the first one for the 3rd grade packet. The 2nd grade packet had something to do with, it was a story about a bagel, but you'll see that that is the beginning of that. I went as far as to take each of those stories and separate them out by story and then staple them so that when I go to find the story, I can just pull that one and then they're not getting mixed up with each other. But so there were the stories are their own section. These are the resource pages from your child's reading book. So that's its own section. And like I said, I stapled those, and I'll go back and do the same for this one when I have my stapler. But staple those by story. That way I can pull one story at a time and don't have to worry about losing pages from other stories. So that's that. And then these are my reading resource pages. That's what I have left now, are my reading, the place where I'm going to record the work that is done. Let me get the staple out. It's a heck of a staple they put in there to hold this huge thing together. Okay. All right. So this now, I flipped this so that this became my new cover page for my reading section. So I have the reading requirements, and the reading requirements are they're set in 2-week increments. So every story is, you keep reading the same story or referencing the same story for 2 weeks. So the first story from this section is going to be what your child is going to read, and then they're going to do activities from this menu. 1 per day other than Monday for the rest of the week. So the way this copied is such a nightmare, but this is the beginning of the choice board, and then this is the end of the choice board. So I will probably be taking these and kind of either recreating them so that they're on 1-page sheets and then sharing them with you. Yeah, that's what I'll be doing. So look out for that. I'm going to take these choice boards and make them into 1-page sheets for you so that you can have them on 1 page. But you'll choose from the reading choice board. Your child will read the story, and then they're going to choose an activity from this. It's like a bingo board. So they can choose any activity from this to use to answer the questions about the story. So it might be something like choose a character from the story and write about a lesson that they learned in the story. Pick 2 words that were difficult for you to figure out. What do the words mean, and explain. So you might look words up in a dictionary. So you're just doing one activity every day from this bingo board for reading, and then you're going to record it in the boxes below. So if it says April 20th to May 1st, that's this chunk of time. You're going to do 1 choice here. You're going to do 1 choice here, and that's where you're going to record it. So say I pick the 2 interesting words choice. I'm going to write my 2 interesting words, and then I'm going to write their definitions or what they mean, and then I'm going to write how I figured that out. And then I'm done for the day for that one. So this is the reading choice board. This is the reading choice board recording boxes that come right after that. So if it says response, that has to do with the reading choice board. So we're going to keep flipping through that. They didn't copy very well, so they're kind of discombobulated, but if they are, if they're all there, they're all there, and I'm not going to really worry too much about it. The next thing that you're going to see is the word study section. These are the word study. Right now, as of right now, this is optional extra work for your student. So if you want to have them pick things from the reading choice board here and some of the activities to do that follow from the word study choice board, it could be like make a word search, select 15 words and write them in alphabetical order, write a poem using 10 of the words, find 10 words that have more than 3 syllables. You can do these activities from this reading choice board. I think they asked for 3 per week. I'm making that optional extra work just because this is for my second graders especially. We've been working in our class on words that are much more difficult than some of these words, so I don't want it to be forcing our students to do something that is below their needs. But there are some interesting words on here, and some of these activities are fun, and your kids might want to work through them. Making a word search is fun. I don't want you and your children to be arguing about making a word search. So if that is something that hasn't reached our frustration level, then I would say that is a good option for your student. But if your student's reaching a frustration level and at a point where they that activity isn't an activity anymore, it's a burden, I would say that we can put that to the side, and that would be a good thing to not include in our school day. So that is, as parents, I'm going to leave that up to you to gauge your child and see how they're responding to that activity. The next thing is these writing choice boards. Now, if your child needs writing prompts to be able to know where to start, then this would be a good place to look, because it gives them some things to write about that are good, just kind of writing prompts, little ideas. We've been doing writing journals since we left school. I made sure to put your child's writing journal into their home learning bags when we knew we weren't coming back to school, because to me that's really important, that we're keeping journals and we're writing every day. So these pages, you can do pages from your student's writing journal instead of using the copied pages that are here. So if your child still has a writing journal, I would toss these. These we don't need these if your child is writing in their writing journal every day for 10 minutes anyway. And it says right in the directions that you can use a prompt from the choice board, or you can choose what you want to write about. So if your child's working on a story or wants to tell about a hike that you went on, then I would say let them write about whatever they want to write about. Just write for 10 minutes every single day, and that is going to make everybody really, really beyond happy. So that's the writing section. So these sections did not copy very well, because along with all of the choice boards in the boxes are these reference charts. These are reference charts that we are given and they hang in our classroom depending on what we're talking about in class. They might not make a lot of sense to you out of context, but they're included in case you want to use them as a resource. So that's really up to you what you decide to do with these little mini charts, but they are included in the packet as reference and resources for you. So I am gonna, like I said, get you guys the choice boards on single page documents, but I also posted on Class Dojo these work study schedules that I created to kind of streamline everything. Because when I was looking at these packets, I really felt like they were there wasn't one hub. There wasn't one place that we can come to make sure we're not missing any pieces. And this is what I was trying to do here. So if you have a copy of this or need a copy of it, please just contact me and I'll get one to you with your email address. But what it has is the days of the week, and because we didn't receive our packets until Tuesday or part of the day on Wednesday, I really tried to give us a light week. I don't want us playing catch up right out the gate. So I gave us Wednesday, Thursday, Friday work. It starts with a story, one activity from the reading response choice board, write in your writing journal for 10 minutes, read for 20 minutes, and you can do that on Epic or in a book, and then complete a math page. And every day is going to look really similar to that. It's going to be one reading activity, write for 10 minutes, do a math page, and then reading. And if you choose to add word study onto that, you can do that as well. And I added that into optional extras down here at the bottom. So the things that we've been working on and the things that I initially planned on doing as part of our distance learning are included down here. That includes HyperDocs, Google Classroom assignments, Khan Academy, ST Math. All of the progress on that is still being tracked and monitored for your student. So you can continue, if you've been doing those things, continue having them do those things and work on them as you've been doing up to this point. But these are in Class Dojo, they're printable, and you can have them, and I just keep them with our packets every day so that we can check them off as we're finishing things. So hopefully that kind of helped those packets be a little more user-friendly. I will get you those choice boards in the next day, and I will keep in touch with you. I know there's been a lot of questions, there's been a lot of frustrations, there's been a lack of communication, I would say, between from the top to the bottom, and I think a lot of people are confused, frustrated, and that includes us as teachers, because we're feeling like right now we're kind of the last to get information because we're hearing it on the news the same as everybody else. So I promise, if you feel like I'm not giving you information, it's because I don't have it, but I will work to get it for you. Please email me if you have any questions, and I can support you in any way. I have parents every single day asking me questions on Dojo. I'm happy to call. I'm happy to work out math problems and take a picture of it and send it to you. Just please reach out to me if you have any frustrations, concerns, anything I can support you in, and I will do the best that I can with the information that I have to be able to help you. So thank you so much, and I miss you, and I can't believe we're not going back to school, but we are gonna do the best that we can in this weird time, and I'm so thankful for all of you. And please stay safe, stay healthy, stay curious, keep learning, keep reading, keep growing. Thank you.